Guys, welcome along. So just going to have a quick go at doing the spark plug, right? Changing the spark plug. So I've never done this before, completely first time. To be honest, I'm not even sure where the spark plug is, but I think I've found it. So I'm just going to run you through it very quickly. Hopefully we'll get it right and the bike will restart afterwards. So I'm just going to bring the camera here and just show you what we've got. Okay, so I've got my existing ratchet that I bought last time when I was doing the oil change. Okay, I've invested in another tool, which is this 5/8 of an inch swivel magnetic spark plug socket. Okay, so the spark plug socket that comes with the Royal Alloy toolkit is this one, but a few people have said online, and I think it was one of our viewers, Peter Stevenson, recommended this tool. Okay, so it comes in a nice box. I ordered it off Amazon just for a few quid, and it's basically a magnetic spark plug tool. Okay, so that's the size of the spark plug here, which is, I think it's 16 mil, and then this end fits onto your wrench, and it just means that once you get the spark plug out, assuming that we can find the spark plug, of course, this end is magnetic. It means we're not going to drop it back in and lose it in the casing below. All right, so hopefully that's a good investment, and thank you, Peter, for writing that in the comments. Okay, we'll see how we get on. I've also invested in spark plug gap tool, so we can set the gap correctly, and in the Royal Alloy manual it's 0.6 to 0.8 of a millimeter. Okay, so we're going to use that, and then we've also got the correct spark plug here, which is an NGK, and I think all these scooters are pretty standard spark plugs from what I can gather, but it's the NGK CR7HSA. CR7HSA, which I believe is a standard spark plug for scooters, right? But it's an NGK spark plug, so we should be good. So first off, we're going to have a go at setting the height of the gap. Okay, so I'm just going to find, never done this before in my life. Have a quick flick through here and see what we can find. I should have brought my glasses because I can't see a damn thing. 0.38. Need some glasses. Fallen at the first hurdle, chaps. I'll have a 0.38. That's a thin one. Going up this way, so 0.2. 0.21, 0.22, 0.24, 0.25. Thicker one. You can tell I've never done this before, right? I've got 0.25. I need to add a couple of these together, I'm guessing, to make up the thickness. 0.30. So we need between 0.6 and 0.8 of a millimeter. So if we add them two together, 0.32 and 0.30. No, hold on. I'm looking at the wrong thing, right? Underneath. 0.762 millimeters, that's what we want. 0.813 millimeters. I was reading it wrong. So the top one is imperial and the bottom one is metric. All right, you can't see that on there, but the top reading is imperial, the bottom one is metric. It's just stamped on there very, very lightly. So let's go with, we need between 0.6 and 0.8. Let's go with the 0.711. All right, 0.711. Let's try that. Should. Yeah, so it's not getting in there, so we need to open the end up a little bit and be able to slide that in. Just open it a little bit. I'm going to use a screwdriver for that. I'm going to get this flathead screwdriver and just see if we can pry it open a little bit. Again, I should have brought my glasses. Just trying to get that screwdriver in there. Little fiddler with no glasses, guys. Let that be a lesson to you. Bring your glasses. That's it, we're in. So you can see that. It's right on the tip of the yeah, I think we're good. The electrode is the word we're looking for. There we go. So I'm going to leave that like that and we're going to try it at that distance. Yep. Okay. I'm going to reposition the camera and then we're going to hopefully try and find the spark plug. Let's give it a go. Okay guys, so I'm on the right hand side of the scooter. I've taken the panel off. If you want to know how to do that, have a look at my other video on how to remove the side panels. Now, I'm not convinced, but I think from the videos I've watched on other scooters, I think that the spark plug is tucked in there, down there. Don't know whether you can see that in there. Okay, so what I'm going to try and do is get my hand in there, but it's a little congested. Let me get some light on there. Let's try and get this on camera for the viewers. Right, so I think we are down here where my finger's going. There. Can you see it? In there. I think that's the cap. So we've got all these cables and things in the way. But if you look at these cables, they're held on with these little kind of tie wraps here, right? It's holding them all together. So I think if I remove the tie wraps, I'm going to be able to lift some of these away, just to get a little bit of a clearer access to it. Okay. So I'm going to put the camera back on the tripod. Okay, so I'm just going to get the snippers and snip that off. Let's see if we can get to it a little easier. It looks like a nightmare to get to, but let's give it a go. Being careful not to cut the wires, I'm just going to cut that little cable tie off there. Okay. And then we can remove that a little bit. That's all stuck together. Yep. I think as long as we put it back nice and neat, you see there? There we go. Right. Gonna bring that camera down again. We should be able to see that now. Can you see it? I flip the camera around. You can see what I'm showing you. There. Okay. So I think this here is the spark plug. Okay. Right where my finger is there. So I'm going to have to reach in there. And now I've just unclipped that, it should be a little bit easier to reach in and pull it out. Okay, let's have a go. There we go. So that just pulls away very straightforward. Okay. I'm guessing that the spark plug is in there. Yes, I can see it, guys. So far, so good. All right, let me get the tool. Okay, so I'm going to feed this in. Let's have some light on the subject. Plastic, of course. Good. There we go. Okay, I'm going in. I think we're on. So we're going to turn left to loosen. Try again. And slide it on there. Yeah, so I feel like it's engaging there on the nut. There we go, undone. Just going to unwind it. Not got it. I have no idea how many turns it's going to take to unwind it. Not there yet. Can't feel it pulling out. Nope. Still no. So look, it's definitely moved. Coming out. Again. First time for everything, right guys? Never done this before, not even on a car I've done this. Yeah, so I don't know whether it's definitely coming out, it's nearly there. More turns. Got it. So the magnetic tool there, very useful indeed, guys. Very useful indeed. So what kind of condition is that in? Experts, tell me, is that good? From what I've seen online, it looks about right. It's not got any sludge on, it's a little bit coloured. And no heavy deposits on the end. So it looks like it's running okay, guys, looking good. I'm going to switch it for the new one. Find the new one. Okay, so we're going to pop that in there. Magnetic. I'm just going to wind it in the other way. Let's just compare gaps visually. So let's see if we've got it right. The camera's not focusing there, guys, but I can see. I mean, visually it looks about the same, right? So hopefully we've set it right. I'm going to go in. Now, I believe it's very, very critical now that we don't cross thread. So we have to be really careful when we feed it in. That number one, we don't cross thread, and number two, we don't over tighten. Okay, I'm going to have a go. I guess you just go off feel, right? I need to flip this round, of course. Now, how do I know if I'm in without... I'll tell you what we do it by hand, right? I'm jumping the gun. We do it by hand, and then we can feel a little bit, get a little bit more, use our nervous system. Wow, guys, this is tricky. Can't feel the thing, it's so deep down. Try again. Oh, let's try it on there. I don't think I can do it by hand. It feels like it's too far away. Okay, so we'll try again. How do we know we're not going to cross thread it? That's the tricky bit. Uh-oh. Come on guys, help me out here, this isn't easy. So I'm reaching in there. If I use my fingers, can I find the opening there? Just trying to offer it around. To a point where I feel I can turn it a little bit. Very, very tricky. Guys, very tricky indeed. Am I better doing it on the socket or by hand? Right, on the socket again. I thought it was going to be really straightforward then, but you know, we know that nothing is ever straightforward on these jobs. Shame I can't get the camera in there a little bit closer, so you could really see what was going on. But it's very, very tricky to line that up inside. Oh, am I in? I think I'm in, guys, look at that. So I'm going to try and flip the camera out. Can you see? So I just offered it in, it sat in there. I pulled the socket out and the plug stayed in, so I'm guessing that that's latched on to the thread. And it should be plain sailing. Provided, of course, that we're not cross-threading it. Let's have a go. Okay, I'm on, I'm in, and I'm winding it in. Now, if I mess up here and I am cross-threading it, then we are causing one hell of a problem. Feels like it's going in nice and smooth. Doesn't feel like I'm causing any damage. So hopefully we're good. No, it's just very loose at the minute, right? As if I'm tightening it by hand. In fact, I wonder if I can reach in and tighten it by hand now. No, I can't turn it by hand at all. I think we're good, guys. I think we're good. Bear in mind, it did take quite a few turns to get it out, didn't it? Fingers crossed. Now it's tightening up. So they say 2/3 of a turn once it's in and finger tight. So don't want to overdo it and strip the threads. Let's hope that's good enough. I'm going to pop this sleeve back on, this cap. So presumably that just pushes on there. Yep. Push that in there. Push it on until it clicks on. It should be good. Okay, shall we give it a try? Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, guys. Let's hope it starts. Guys, just before we see if the scooter starts, just want to add in a couple of things. Firstly, I did give the spark plug an extra half a turn with the wrench off camera afterwards, just to make sure it was fully tightened and it wasn't going to work its way loose. The second thing is, online you will see a lot of people commenting and saying that you should put some anti-seize grease or copper grease on the spark plug to make sure it doesn't seize. Now, if you go on the NGK website, they specifically state do not put that on the NGK plugs, because they have a special
coating on them called trivalent plating or trivalent plating. And it actually says this silver or chrome coloured finish on the threads is designed to provide corrosion resistance against moisture and chemicals. The coating also acts as a release agent during spark plug removal. So you definitely do not need to put anything on the plugs if it's a genuine NGK. All right, now let's see if the scooter starts.
Mission accomplished. Spark plug done. Right, first time ever. And fingers crossed it's going to be okay. So I'll just put a tie wrap back on them cables, get them nice and neat and tidy. And fingers crossed that's good enough. Right, next job is going to be the belt. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for bearing with me. If you've got any ideas for videos, anything you want to see me attempt, just put them in the comments below. And once again, thanks to Peter Stevenson, I think it is, who recommended the magnetic spark plug spanner. Made life a lot easier. All right, guys, cheers. Thanks for watching. Don't forget.